Ladies and gentlemen, we are live early on a Monday morning, getting the day and week started with none other than a 10 a.m. Trump mention. So far, White House Live is not up. This is all coming from AP. So that makes me think Trump's going to be a while away. Thoughts on fentanyl? Yeah, I mean, okay, now we see there's a podium, so the guy's going to talk. I don't mind fentanyl. I was going to buy Mental Institution at 55, but it's kind of surged up. But we see a podium. He's definitely going to give a speech. Also, the whole Mexico cartel business this morning, where we assisted with that, I feel like he's going to want to take some credit for that, for the El Mencho. And I think press secretary was talking about this too. I mean, I really like cartel if I could get some, but I doubt I can get much until it kind of just jumps up. But like with this whole Mexico shooting, how is he not going to talk about the cartel here? But I doubt I can get any fills really. I don't know what it'll close at. But like this is about Angel Remembrance Day. It's about people who were, killed by illegal aliens. I think for sure, I mean, you have to think he's going to want to come out and talk about, what they did to this Jalisco cartel. You know what? I'll honestly buy some at 65. Maybe this is a bad price, but let's see. And then I'll leave a bid up in the low to mid 50s. Not too much liquidity because it's an early speech. It seems like most people are sleeping in. But the Halt Fentanyl Act, you mean the one where they designated it as a weapon of mass destruction? Oh, Schedule 1. It varies, subs. I mean, I enter some things live. I mean, I trade some things. You should not. These streams aren't just like, you shouldn't blindly tail anything I do. So it's not like I'm like placing trades and you should just like place the same trade. Like it's. I'll more so just talk about these mentions live. But yeah, today I didn't really enter much pre-market. There's just not a lot of liquidity on this. Yeah, the reason I would never recommend blindly tailing anyone, especially on exchanges, is like liquidity is an issue, right? There's only so much shares available. I mean, crime is freaking completely bonded. But like, so something that someone would enter at X at a certain price, like you could see there's order books. There's only so much liquidity. Like, it might not make sense for another person to enter at a different price, obviously, especially when it comes to like mentions where there's not that much liquidity usually. Try to see who's here. Maybe think about them attending tomorrow. Yeah, that's a lot of what I'm watching today. It's like I'm hopeful he's going to talk a little bit about State of the Union and maybe what to expect. I'm pretty surprised some of these like off-topic strikes are so cheap, like stock market in the single digits. Yeah, I would put a bid up if I could fill in single digits, but I think it's unlikely I'll get fills. I am Dustin. I'm going to be doing a State of the Union preview tonight. Should be fun. Tyrael will be joining. Is there anything on that screen? What is that? It just says remembrance of the families, I think. Let's see, what does Caro say? Caroline Levitt just posted, having seen the White House. How often do I let positions run till close? Like, hold them throughout the whole speech? I'd say most of the time. Sometimes I'll exit pre-market if I'm like entering things ahead of time and they move past, say, my fair value, right? Like if I buy something at 50 and then it moves up to 70 before the event, I think I should sell out. Like Cartel, for example, like would I buy this at 73? Probably not, because I bought at 64, but it's kind of getting close to probably fair values, like in the range of like 75. I don't know. I just think like with Cartel, we just had all this stuff with Mexico. It relates to illegal aliens with what's happening here, like in the sense of like it's kind of tied together. I don't have like giant position obviously, but like I feel like I'd be surprised, right, if they don't talk about this attack as like a selling point. You would think if you're Trump wanting to talk about like drugs coming to the country, all these things, you'd want to take credit for the killing of El Mencho, and you know the White House already said that they had a role in it. So don't think Q&A, no. Not with this setup. You can kind of see like podium, and it, to me this is very unlikely for Q&A. Maybe not very, but I'll just say unlikely. But like, man, tariffs in the 30s? I just like, some of these are freaking weird. Huh. Even like election in the 40s? I'll put up some bids that I'll have to pull when the market actually starts. But man, I'm so excited for State of the Union. I already have like pretty big positions. I might sell out of some of them. But snowboard trip was good. I only snowboarded for a day, but it's cool to see I still got it. Like, you know, once you pick it up, you can easily do it again. So I felt good. And we went to a pretty small mountain, so wasn't anything crazy. Not sure why I would bring up tariff during this. I mean, you could definitely make the argument that like it doesn't make a lot of sense with the format of this, right? Like of this being about illegal aliens remembrance ceremony. But I just think, again, so I'm trying to enter, by the way, at like 32 cents. So doesn't have to say it in the majority of these. I just think there's value in the 30s potentially. You have the Supreme Court decision, obviously, last week. Probably won't talk about that much here, but in relation to illegals too, as well, like, and just national security as a whole, which I think kind of ties into the whole illegal alien dynamic. Like, there's kind of a world maybe that he brings up tariffs because he always talks about using them as like a national security. I just think like sometimes in these types of speeches where it centers on one thing, like in this case, illegals, I think you'll see unrelated strikes get sometimes undervalued for yeses, right? Because obviously people are going to think about, you know, what does this, you know, what's the topic of the speech? I just think sometimes people will over-index to the topic of a Trump speech, and, you know, the guy can obviously ramble about a million different things. So like election being like at 40, to me, there's value there if I could get filled as like a maker, but I probably can't. But I'll just pull my bids right from the start. All right, White House stream is live on X. I'm gonna use that. Should be comparable to AP. All right, we got them both. I guess let me format this. He's Trump. He can always bring up tariffs. Exactly. And especially election, man. Like, I swear to God, I don't think people realize how much Trump says election. Election can literally come up for Trump in absolutely any context. You know, we had the historic election on November 5th. We had, like even talking to these families, you could be like, I promised to you that I would get rid of these, you know, aliens or whatever after my election. You're feeling Supreme Court, even though it has zero to do with it. Yeah, maybe. I don't know. To me, like, you could be right. To me, Supreme Court still feels like a little too far off from this. Like, I see ways tariffs could come up versus I don't know. I mean, it could come up. Obviously, it's in the 20s, so probably not a terrible price. But all right, we have a little bit of tariffs. Let's see what happens. Shut down the border. Mental institution also isn't bad, honestly, at 60. I don't know. I don't usually like, and then I would normally think Biden is going to be like a potentially a decent no to take in a spot like this, but I don't think so here, because I just think so much of this illegal stuff he's going to point to Biden. Man, crime 99. That's so funny. Wow, ICE National Guard is very, very high. Huh. He has been saying it more often. Plus, there's like an ice hockey angle. He wrote an unhinged Supreme Court note on his crap platform overnight. Was it the one where he was saying, like, they've given him more power? Let me see. Trump truths. Oh, the one where he said he started using lowercase letters. Well, not too much volume on this one this morning. Probably not getting too many fills. Happy Angel Family Day, everyone. This is now an official holiday. Oh, Caro just posted. Okay, I'm looking at this Caroline Levitt post. This is our why. Oh, wow. Okay. The Caro video kind of is a little bullish on Ice, to be honest. It literally ends with a picture of Ice. But so Kristi Noem and Tom Homan are at the signing. They'll probably talk as well. Wow, is there an angle too for my balls are showing? Interesting. Is there an angle too for like shutdown potentially? Just thinking that. Probably not, but interesting idea. Yeah, so Tom Homan's going to be there. Kristi Noem's going to be there. They're already confirmed. Some White House correspondents were posting about it. Your election, yes. Tariff, no. Great, we're counterparties. I can become a fade god. Well, I agree with you on election, yes. Wow, how is, honestly though, how is Trump gonna dodge cartel possibly? I don't know. I wish I could have gotten more, but you going to have over or under 50K on State of the Union? Dude, I know. It's gonna be, State of the Union's gonna be crazy. I only have so far, by the way, maybe 7K on State of the Union, 5K, 7K, but I've gotten insane CLV on State of the Union. So I might honestly sell out of some of my positions. Like I was entering things at like 50, now they're at like 70. So don't know how many I'm gonna hold versus, but it'd be nice to have like 10K at least on State of the Union. Yeah, I know, it's surprising I'm a yes man today. Fent yes off that Caro tweet, like the one where she showed the video of the images. I mean, if you can get it in the 40s, man, I hate being a yes person. I always get screwed when I'm buying yes shares. I always think it's better to buy no's. But I think you're, honestly, that's fair, Mr. Nick, that it's like, maybe I'll take her some. I'll take her a little bit. Man, I'm on so many yeses today. I'm just going to get rinsed. That's how it goes. You get optimistic on holding yes shares. Okay, doors opening. Wow, Trump's going to do a long walk out. Also, MH for State of the Union up like... Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying, Mr. Nick. I had 3K at 50 yesterday when I was talking to you. I joined. I was like, how is he not saying Midnight Hammer? I had 3K at 50. Now it's at like 73. So that's a pretty... Or 55. I had 3K at 55. Now it's at 73. All right, I got to be ready to pull orders. Whenever you're heavily indexed to yes, that's when you know it's not going to be a good day. I definitely, what are some no's I could actually get to like be balanced on this mention? I wouldn't take crime criminal, no. ICE National Guard, no isn't cheap enough. Like, I think someone was asking why they're not on yes for ICE National Guard, but Trump does sometimes dodge saying ICE National Guard, obviously. But today there's just so many angles, having Kristi Noem there and Tom Homan. And like with this all kind of being done just to make ICE look better, really feels like ICE has to be coming kind of. So probably not confident enough to take yeses in the 70s, but let's see. And then criminal, he's going to say criminal illegal aliens. Like that's going to be extremely difficult to dodge. Deportation. I kind of think he's going to say like this is why our deportation efforts are so important. Mental institution I liked closer to 50 for yes, honestly, but maybe radical left no, honestly, could be an angle of all of these, but even then it's like not priced that well, so it doesn't make much sense. Is he gonna mention crypto Bitcoin though? Shit, crypto Bitcoin. Too bad they got rid of the Bad Bunny strikes. He's gonna say EBT. What's the angle for that? Thank you, Tonka. Yeah, I've learned to be a taker way more. Like on State of the Union, I was takering like 3K blocks. And what do you know? CLV has gone on my side. Definitely the way I think about at least like big events like State of the Union a lot more, and even just big mentions now, is I'm a little less scared to size up because I'm now more so thinking not what do I think he will say, but what do I think will close at a higher price, if that makes sense. So kind of just like thinking of going for CLV like close to the event, because then I can just sell out worst case, and I'll at least have a great entry price. What's being a taker? Oh, Trump sounds like it's coming out. Okay, here's Trump. Here we go. Here we go. Let me turn this up. Oh, I gotta pull my bids.
Thank you very much. It's a big day. Very important day for me. Should be important for everybody, including the media. But they don't really cover it fairly, I will tell you that. It's shocking.
Shocking.
Please sit down. Thank you. We gathered here today for a truly solemn occasion. Throughout this hall, I am joined by heartbroken Americans who have lost parents, siblings, children, grandchildren, and treasured loved ones to the scourge of illegal immigration led in by the past administration. Millions and millions
Dodge
of people
Biden.
from jails.
Oh,
Millions and millions of people from countries that we don't want to know about.
From jails, he
Drug
stops at?
dealers, murderers. 11,888 murderers were allowed into our country by the Biden administration.
There's Biden.
These are the angel families that we love, that for decades our government betrayed.
He does sound kind of rough
and
today.
Our media totally ignored, and I've seen it. When I first got involved with the angel families, I had a meeting. It was so sad. And they got up and spoke, and the media literally just turned off the cameras. They didn't want to hear them. It was my first glimpse as to what was happening. These are sick people that cover stories like that, or that don't cover them, which is worse. Everyone in this room not only suffered an infinite loss, they were the victims of politicians who put the comfort
Slamming beers with Cash yesterday after
of foreign criminals before the safety of American citizens and American patriots. Their stories were censored and suppressed like maybe almost never before, so that the politicians could open our borders and allow our nation to be invaded. We didn't win the election. Our nation would
There's
right now be
election,
destroyed.
man. That's what I was saying. I tried to get so
But
many
under
elections
the
in
Trump
the 40s.
administration,
God
they're
damn.
suffering.
It's always good.
He's
I
forgotten no
should
longer.
have just takered.
In just a few moments, I officially sign a proclamation that I've been waiting to sign for a long time, including my first administration. There were so many different legal roadblocks, it was incredible. But we got it done, and I'm doing it today, February 22nd.
Yeah, he looks
is
very tired.
Going to be National Angel
He might be rapping soon, honestly.
Family Day.
Like, what is...
Very important. So many incredible family members and friends.
I think this
Parents
is
and children.
very early for Trump.
On February 22nd, 2 years ago, a brilliant 22-year-old nursing student named Laken Hope Riley went out for a run on a college campus in Georgia. Laken was viciously attacked, brutally beaten, and murdered by an illegal alien gang member who the last administration heartlessly released into our country. No problems. Let them in. They let in everybody. They didn't check anybody. They let in everybody. Among the first bills I signed into
Wow.
law after taking office last year was the Laken-Riley Act. I'm so proud of it. To ensure illegal alien criminals are rapidly removed from the United States of America, if that's okay with the media. That bill has already been really playing a big role in the life of our country. It's resulted in over 21,000 illegal alien arrests, 21,000.
Still dodging ICE National Guard so far. Interesting.
We're joined this morning by Laken's parents, who I have gotten to know. These are incredible people. And I want
Are they already on, like, for the
to
who
ask
will
Laken's
attend?
mother, Allison, to please come forward and say a few words, please.
Is Lincoln Riley a strike for this?
Hi, Allison.
Or Lincoln Riley's mother?
Well, this is unexpected, but I think that a lot of people feel like that President Trump is maybe different than the version I've gotten to know. And I just can't thank you enough. You have said from the beginning, literally the day after this happened, that you would not forget about Laken. You weren't president at that time.
What
And
is
you
up,
have
Essex?
Not forgotten.
We got an early morning.
You have fought a fight that most people would not want to have to fight. Most people wouldn't. They would just say it's just easier not to do this. And President Trump you are doing a thankless job that
Not really much of an argument
most
for
people
hottest
just wouldn't do. And
cartel.
I just can't thank you enough. There are just not enough words
I'll
to
go
say.
down with the ship.
Because if you lived the nightmare that we have lived, you understand the importance of the job that he's doing and securing our nation and
Curious how cheap things go
fighting for our families.
as other people
Because
talk.
this could be any family.
'Cause
This
I think
happened to
Tom
my
and
family.
Christy will
This
probably
could be
come up and
any one
talk.
of your families. And Laken was the most responsible, hardworking, kind, selfless, beautiful Christian. And she wasn't somebody that put herself in bad positions. She didn't make bad choices. She was just a good girl. And she just wanted to go for a run that morning after she'd gotten up at 4 o'clock the morning before to decorate her roommate's door for her birthday. And she did everything for everyone else. She expected nothing in return. She just wanted to be a good friend and a good sister and a good daughter
Man, it's a sad one in the morning.
and a hardworking nurse. She was working so hard for. And I'm beyond blessed and thankful that you're honoring not just Laken, because she's one in a ton of people that have suffered at the hands of illegal immigrants. She's not the only one. And so thank you for honoring all of them, not just Laken. And we're just beyond grateful. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Charlotte.
Trump's coming back. I think he's gonna have other people come up like Homan.
Thank you very much. It's amazing, Allison. You have to go through this. Doesn't get that much easier, does it? Right? Even with time. It's been a while now, and it doesn't get that much easier. But I want to thank you for your incredible courage. We're all courageous in a sense. Everybody in this room is courageous, and we're willing to tell the story. And that I don't know why the news doesn't want to hear it. The Democrats don't want to hear it. The radical left, they don't want to hear it. What's not to
Radical left.
hear?
Wow.
We want to stop
Crazy.
murderers and criminals from coming into our country. I watched the mayor of Minneapolis. I watched these people saying,
Minneapolis.
we want to protect murderers. I don't get it. Something's sick. They're sick. Can't have a country like that. So we appreciate the bravery of everybody in this room, actually. And Christy, I want to thank you, and I want to thank Tom in particular for
Is this
we
rapping?
have a border that's 100% closed now. 100%.
It's crazy he's not talking about what happened in Mexico today. I guess that's just... I would think they'd want to use it as a...
So Lakin's story is even more tragic because her death was completely preventable. It shouldn't have happened.
Phantom, it's not looking
I
good.
should
We're
never
getting
been
cooked.
here. Not only should her killer not have been released into our country in the first place, but he was released a second time after being arrested in New York City. Here today is a great gentleman, the police officer who arrested that illegal alien, only to watch him be set free to kill. I mean, he was arrested and they let him go free. They knew he was trouble, big trouble. Many of them are like that. They release him, knowing it's going to kill again, but they released him and set him free to kill Lakin. So I'd like to have Ethan Carreri come up, please. He's a great, highly respected police officer, and you could explain what happened. Come on up. Thank you, Ethan.
Mr. President, it's an honor
Seems
to be
like they're
here
gonna have a
today.
lot of people
It's an
coming up
honor
and
to be
talking.
Speaking with you guys. My name is Ethan Carreri. I'm a police officer in Palm Beach County, Florida, and a former New York City police officer. While serving the New York City Police Department, I personally arrested Jose Ibarra for endangering the welfare of a child. A few months later, I saw his face again in the news after he viciously murdered Laken Riley. I did my job. I put him in custody. The system failed. No detainer, no accountability, no deportation, and an innocent American life
This
was
guy's
taken.
mentioning deportations.
If you enter our country illegally, there will be consequences under this administration. The American citizens must always come first. To Laken Riley's family, your loss should have never happened. We owe it to you and every American family to enforce our laws, secure our border, and protect innocent lives. Mr. President, thank you so much for having me here today, and thank you for all you've done for our country. Thank you.
Great job. Thank you very much.
They bringing someone else up?
I notice you left New York to come to Florida. It's in a way, it's too bad, right? But you couldn't take it anymore. They don't let you do your job. But thank you very much, Ethan. Great, highly respected person. Have to do a little checking before I introduce people, otherwise I get in trouble. Sometimes I introduce people and they say, "Sir, did you know this or that?" But you checked out very, very well. Wow. Stories like Laken's are one more reason why my administration will do everything in our power to end the scourge of sanctuary cities once and for all. They protect
Okay, now he's still
criminals.
got more
Why
talking
Why do
points.
people fight? They protect criminals with a vengeance. They fight for these criminals like murderers. They're protecting murderers. They fight for them so hard. There's something wrong with them. We're joined today
Okay, another
by
person
so many
coming out.
angel families
Oh, never mind.
who are grieving a terrible loss. They've gone through hell. Steve Ronnebeck was the father of 21-year-old Grant Ronnebeck, a beautiful guy, who was shot and murdered by an illegal alien while he was working behind the counter of a convenience store in Arizona. He was working behind the counter.
Working
Steve,
behind the counter.
would you please come forward? We'll talk about your boy. Thank you very much.
Oh, this is a sad start to a day.
You know, I spent some time with President Trump in his first election. President Trump talked about Grant even before he was elected in 2016. And finally, we had hope. We had hope that it was going to end. I was just talking to Secretary Noem that we all sat around a table one day during one of our visits to Washington. And again, the word preventable came up. All these deaths at the hands of illegal immigrants are preventable. They could have been stopped. We could have done so much more, unfortunately, at the hands of an election that we question. Somebody took their foot off the brakes and put their foot on the accelerator to let these people into our country. And it wasn't just regular people. It was criminals. It was murderers, killers, rapists. And now today, we are finally going to see that somebody's going to remember all of our loved ones. They're going to remember the names, and they're going to remember what we've all been through. Thank you, Mr. President.
And think of it, I'm not talking politics, I'm just talking life. If that election, if it wasn't rigged, it was a rigged election by millions and millions of votes.
Wow.
A guy that never left his basement, it was all run by crooked people. COVID was a little bit
Wow,
of a shield.
rigged election right
Yeah,
away
a
on
lot
the
of
weekly.
Things going on. But it was rigged by millions of votes. We did
Damn.
great in that election.
Man, I
If
can't
that
believe election
wasn't
was
rigged,
such a
every
good-
single one of the people in this room right now would not be here. You'd be home with your son, daughter.
Dude, he
family.
said crime a million times, yeah.
We had a strong border. You know, we solved it twice, Tom. We solved it.
All right, here we go.
In 2016, the border was bad. Nothing like it was this time. It was like beautiful compared to this time. This was legendary. In the history of the world, there's never been a border like this where millions of people poured in. At least 25 million people. And many of them were the wrong people. Many.
Is this
You know, when
mental
countries fill up
institution line?
the caravans, they don't fill them up with their finest. I wouldn't. And I would do exactly what they did if the United States would be willing to take all of our criminals and people, or people that don't work. But they are smart people. I got to know most of those leaders. I know them. I said,
He's
what are you doing?
dodging
They
this
said,
mental
"Look, it was
institution
totally
line
open
so
border."
much. This is crazy.
They saved hundreds of millions of dollars. And they gave it to us, and we've done a great job. Tom Homan, Kristi Noem, our people, they've been incredible, the job they've done. And they take nothing but abuse, but, you know, they're sort of pretty hardened to that, I think, because they know they're doing the right thing. It just amazes me that there's not more support out there. It's just, we actually have a silent support. I think it's silent. I think it's well, that's how I won. I got probably 85 million votes. They say 78 million, 79 million. They cheated in this election, too. It was just too big to rig. Too big to rig. But they cheated like hell.
Man, election would have been.
They
I
can't
wish
win
I
on
could have-
policy. Men and women's sports.
Oh my
We have
gosh,
a new
he's
one
gonna.
now.
He's
Voter
gonna.
ID. I think that's as crazy as
He's already going
they
on.
won't approve voter ID.
Okay, this is where Trump's starting to ramble. This is where things like tariff is
They
going to
won't
come up.
approve proof of citizenship. They won't approve no mail-in ballots, even though they know it's crooked as hell. Where the ballots are sent to, in many cases, Democrats. Republicans don't get theirs, and they're calling frantically to get their ballot. A Democrat will get 3, 4, 5, 6, and even 7 ballots.
He's really focusing on rigged
And then was
election, but
supposed to win. That's what they're good at. They're professional. Cheaters. But we wouldn't be here right now. I'm just thinking as we're going through it, because we've suffered through it together. I suffer for the country. I mean, it's the people I've gotten to know, the mothers and fathers, mostly mothers and fathers. Husbands in some cases, wives in some cases, but mostly mothers and fathers, what they have to go through. Also with us is
Dang,
Marie
we
Vega,
missed
the
it.
mother
Now
of
he's going back to.
Javier
He was just on his ramble
Vega
motion.
Jr., a retired U.S. Marine and Border Patrol agent, so respected, who was murdered in front of his family by 2 illegal aliens, bad ones, really bad ones. People you could look at him and you could say, trouble. Trying to steal his family's trucks. He wanted to take everything the family had, but the trucks in particular. Marie, please come forward. Thank you, darling.
President Trump, on behalf of my family and I, thank you for hosting this beautiful remembrance in honor of our loved ones who were killed by illegal aliens. As you said, August the 3rd, 2014, my husband Javier, my
Well, we
son,
missed our
Marine and Border
opportunity where
Patrol
he was rambling.
agent Javier Harvey Vega, his wife, 2 of his sons, and a friend, and I were fishing in Santa Monica, Texas. Within minutes of settling in, we were ambushed by 2 illegal aliens with many priors. Without warning, they jumped out of their stolen vehicle with guns that were not supposed to be in their possession in an attempt to steal 2 four-wheel drive vehicles. While trying to defend us, Harvey was shot in the chest and killed. My husband, Javier Sr., was shot in the back. Remember, y'all, children were there fishing with their friends, and they just kept shooting. You could hear the bullets just whizzing past you. Javier Sr. returned fire with his weapon, and I grabbed the AR that Harvey had attempted to defend us with, and I returned fire as well. Had we not fired back, they would have killed everyone there, including the children, so that there wouldn't be any witnesses. And they killed an amazing man, a loving and honorable dad and husband. Thank God we have you in office. Without you, America and the world would not know the consequences of open borders. Thank you for restoring law and order. Thank you for acknowledging us, the Angel families. Every day I think of you and the heavy weight of a nation that you carry with you. I can't imagine what it must be like to wake up every morning, work so diligently amid attacks and resistance from the left, to deal with the craziness, the fraud, and the swamp. But you get it done day in and day out, all while finding solutions to making America great again. You absolutely amaze me. Please know that we see it, and we, the masses, your constituents, are behind you 100%. When you were elected the first time, for the first term as president, I remember saying to my boss, this is exactly what this country needed, a businessman. You did an outstanding job then, and although you were cheated out of the second term, by the way, you won that election as well, and we know it. I knew the third term was going to be epic, and here we are, mega. Before I end this, I have to share a sweet story with you about my daddy. He absolutely hated the way people treated you and attacked you. On your third run for office, he said to me, "Mijita," which means my little daughter in Spanish, "can you check to see if I'm up to date and still register to vote? We need to
ICE
make
at
sure
41?
President Trump gets into office." I said, "Of course, Daddy."
He keeps bringing people
And
up.
I did, and I checked, and he was registered to vote. We lost a great man, April the 3rd of 2025. And that would be my daddy. Again, thank you for everything. Thank you for backing Border Patrol and ICE and backing these families. Thank you so much. I love you.
So beautiful. You know, I was thinking as you were saying that
What were you thinking about, Trump?
running again for a third
Oh.
time after having
third
gone
time?
through what we went
Whoa,
through
whoa,
the
whoa,
second
whoa.
time, which was so
Oh
horrible.
my God.
So much cheating.
He
so
got
much
so close. There's a
So
third term
much
strike in the
deception.
monthly. Holy.
viciousness, and you could see what they were going to do. And I'm here now, and it's a much more
got so
powerful term
close to
than my
saying
second
third
term
term.
would be, and much more powerful. And one of the reasons is everybody sees how bad they were. And I had to go through, and I still do, fake stories, fake polls. I had polls for the election that showed I was going to get swamped, and
Dude,
I won
it's like
in a
10
landslide. They were
election
fake
and I
polls
couldn't
because
get any freaking fills.
polls are tough.
Why
when
is
you
he
get a
so
fake poll.
focused
I get 'em
on-
today. I saw one today that I'm at 40%. 40%. I'm not at 40%. I'm at much higher than that. I mean, I'd love to run against anybody. The real polls say you kill everybody. It wouldn't even be close. But you go through the fake polls, you go through the fake stories. And I said, it was good because this is really a much more powerful term than I would have had if I had run, because it was just one of those things. There would be nothing to compare it to. And now they compare it to Biden and that horrible, horrible administration. And I mean it is more powerful. Our military is much more powerful. We rebuilt it mostly in the first term. Then they gave away a
Who's
chunk of
from
it. And
France?
as much as it was, it's very small relatively, Tom. But we gave it to the Taliban. Just walked out. We could have taken it with
Taliban?
us. They said, I think it's cheaper to leave the planes. Just put a little jet fuel and fly it to a
Where
neighborhood
is
or
this
fly it right
topic
home.
going?
Sir, I think it's cheaper. I think we'll save money by leaving a $150 million jet on the runway. These people are crazy. But I said, and I've said to a lot of people, it's much better what happened. But not for you people, it's not. And then I go back and say, but I wish it didn't, because every one of your loved ones would be alive today. Everyone in this room, I think, maybe there's one where could have sneaked through during our term, but I don't think so. We had a very tough border. We had we solved it in 2016, and we had a very strong border.
This guy
I would
is
say
rambling.
nothing
I don't
is
know
as
how
strong
he's
as,
not.
is what we have now. But we had a very strong border. We had a good border. We had a sane border. It was sane. And I say, I like this much better. Much more respect. You read about all these crazy shooters, but they only go after consequential presidents. They don't go after
Oh, he's talking
non-consequential presidents. If you take a look, Abraham Lincoln, some big one. John Kennedy, in a certain way, was very consequential. He represented something very important. He was there for 1,000 days, as you know, the book, 1,000 days, but he was consequential. There was a glamour, there was something good for our country.
Yeah, I don't think it's a bad idea, Tonka, or even like Iran with this guy
consequential,
rambling about
and,
Taliban.
I was told that. I saw that the other day. They said they only go after consequential. So maybe I want to be a little bit less consequential.
And
Can
maybe
we
they're
hold it
gonna
back a little
say-
bit, please, Tom? Can we just, nice and easy? Let's be a
And
normal
these
president
stutters
for
are
a
'cause
little
I'm
while.
fast
Because we had
forwarding.
the
It's not 'cause
greatest
it's
first term, I
delayed.
think, of any president in history. A lot of people have said that. Even radical left people have said that.
Radical left.
And so it's, but the one problem is that, and every time I say it, I go back to the one thing. I said, but we wouldn't have had 25 million people allowed to come into our country, totally unchecked, totally unvetted. And those are the people that destroyed your lives. They destroyed your lives. They wouldn't be there. So I always say, I like it better, but
He's
there's
kind of
one thing
rambling
I don't
right
like
now.
better, and that's what they did. Because I think that's the single biggest problem. He gave us inflation, highest inflation we've ever had. I solved
Wow,
those.
talking
Right
about-
now, inflation's at a very low number.
Dude, this
How
is
about
like a
gasoline? I
hottest.
was in Iowa,
This is a
$1.85
hottest-
a gallon. I solved that. I did a great job with that.
Oh,
Prices
man,
are
I
coming
got
way
some
down.
stock market
And I'll
at
get them down
6
further, but
cents.
Christ, no matter. By the way, if I came up with the cure for cancer, they would say he should have done it years ago. There is
like
not
this-
a thing
I
I
like
can do
this
where these
Trump
people are
ramble.
going to give me
Just-
credit. And
I'm
that's
shocked
okay, 'cause we
he's
won
not
on a
rambling
landslide, so
about,
the
like,
people understand.
Tariffs and stuff. Yeah.
People understand. But the one thing that I regret about the election and the process, because it's a much bigger, more important, you look at what we're doing throughout the world, we're respected like we've never been before.
Oh my guys.
But the one thing that I can't do anything about is that he allowed 25 million people, many of these murderers, drug lords,
He's gotta say mental
criminals, people from
institution.
mental institutions.
There's
They
mental
emptied their
institutions. Finally,
Tom, is
Jesus.
that right? All over the
I
world.
was like, how is he
Not just
dodging
in
this
South
so
America.
many times?
They emptied their
Okay,
jails.
I didn't get a
Many
big
of
enough
them from
fill.
all over the world. Why? Why would we do this? And they walk in, nobody even asked for, like, do you have
But
an
I had a tiny
identification?
fill.
Do you have an ID? It's so crazy. You know, the mayor of
It's
New York,
just
and he's a very nice person.
so bizarre he
I met
hasn't
him, but his ideology is not too good.
talked about
But
cartels, man.
we're having a massive snowstorm right now, and I've heard that he's
Oh.
asked people
is
to
this
come out
is he going to
and
bring up
help shovel
ice
the
for
snow.
snowstorm?
Okay, so you get a shovel and you start.
I tried to
shoveling.
get on election rigatoni.
What
You're
the heck, I can
probably
help too
penny
much, but
jumping
you can
me.
help. And
That's why I didn't
hello,
get any
darling,
fills.
How are you? No, right behind you. Look, my friend. Right? Are you okay? Yes, you. Are you okay? Are you okay? Good. Good. Are your eyes okay? I gave her money to get her eyes fixed. A lot of money to get her eyes fixed.
Yeah, Trump
That
is in
doctor
ramble
ripped
mode.
me
I
off,
love
but that's
this.
okay. And when do you go? Well, you get them done. It's an operation, but it's 100%. You know, it's great.
This guy's talking about eye
Good.
operations.
And you're going to have 20/20 vision. She's almost blind, cataracts. She's almost blind. And with one operation, that'll take a very short period of time. Hope you have a good doctor. He's an expensive doctor, top of the line, right? But you know what? You're going to have 20/20 vision because I noticed you're wearing glasses. I saw you yesterday on television wearing glasses, and I said, well, but anyway. But, you know, speaking of your family, it would be a lot different right now, except for the election. So I always say, it's too bad that happened. And if I had it to do again, it's despite the tremendous job we're doing now, I wish it could have been the other way. 'cause
I think
we
he's
wouldn't even be
kinda-
having this meeting right
Maybe
now.
he's
There'd be
potentially
nobody. I
rapping.
wouldn't have gotten to know you, but it's gotten to know you under very bad circumstances, right? The worst circumstances. So, one of those things.
I think he's maybe
But
rapping.
the thing I can't understand is why the press isn't
All right,
more
never mind.
supportive.
He's still going.
They're so dishonest. The stories, the polls, they polled you. They say, oh, the angel moms. I think the angel moms are the finest people I've met. I mean, the angel moms and families and dads, but these are unbelievable people. Why are they so angry with angel moms? They had their child killed.
Hottest
Stories
felt
that are
good
so
at that
horrible,
point. I
I'm
mean,
not
I
gonna
think
mention. A
like
couple of people are in the room.
at 14.
What they did with the child after they murdered the child.
Yeah, I'm shocked
It's
that
not even-
Mexico
and-
dodged
and
too. I don't
These
know how
people
he's
are
not
actually
acknowledging
on the
it.
side
Has
of
he
the
not been
criminal.
briefed
I don't
yet?
get it, Tom. Someday you're going to,
He might not have been briefed yet on the whole Mexico
Explain it to me.
situation. Honestly,
but I don't think you can either. It's crazy. Laura Wilkerson is another American mom.
Wow,
whose
he's still
18-year-old
bringing
son,
someone up.
Joshua was horribly beaten, tortured,
So
and
this is
murdered
still
by an
going for
illegal
a
alien who
while,
went
then.
totally crazy. And just went to school. And I'd like to ask Laura to come up and say a few words about Joshua.
This might be pretty long, honestly. They're still bringing up
Please.
people.
Hi. Another one of my friends. One of my original friends.
Man.
right?
Thank you so much for having me today. My name is Laura Wilkerson, and I want to thank everybody for their help in gathering us here, the American Border Story and the White House, and all of your helpers. I thank you for that. I met a man about 11 years ago who was running for office, and he sat with us a couple of days, and he watched as the tears rolled down my face as I told him the story of how our youngest son, Joshua, was brutally beaten tortured, strangled to death, and his body set on fire.
Yeah, I
The
do
man
too.
next to me was President Trump.
Honestly, Tonka.
He never, ever looked away from my pain.
But I'm already so in the hole on all my
He
yeses.
looked me
I'm like,
straight
do I
in
buy
the eye,
more? I don't
And
know.
he said, I will never forget
Um,
the story of your sweet son, and I will never give up fighting for the American
but you know
family.
what? We're gonna lock in.
I looked at him and I believed him. And
Oh,
here
they
we are
jumped.
these years later, and you can tell all of the work he's done. He's never missed a day of fighting for the American family. I don't know if I've ever met a man who is more interested in this country and running this country and getting it back in shape. And I'm so grateful for what he does every
all right,
single day.
we'll buy some more.
I can't even pretend to understand the spiritual battles that swirl around the office of the presidency and the man who owns that office. I would ask that God
Dude, this
breathe a
guy's
fresh breath of
there's
air
an auto
through
penny
this
jumper
administration
on my bids.
so
I
that
swear.
he can calm those spiritual battles and allow our president to continue to do the hard work. Jesus works on my family every day, still healing us today. And I am just so incredibly grateful for the man who's in office, who never quits. He is
Like hottest yes man being this cheap with like what he's been
headlines
talking
so
about.
many
I don't
times,
know.
but we know the man, Jesus, who can take
That's-
care of that. And
yeah.
we pray today in his name that he will sweep through this country and make it right again. Thank you so much for having me.
It's crazy though, when I put up a bid, I get completely jumped.
Oh, I just want to thank you. That's amazing. The words are so beautiful, so beautiful.
But he's still going. Like he's still got a lot to.
I get introduced often, and I'm getting introduced by people. In many cases, they hate me. And they don't give me nice introductions like that.
this gonna be a Trump
But all we're doing is the right thing. It's sort of simple, right? It's sort of simple, and but not simple for you. And that's when I was running, actually. That was before I won. I didn't know if I was going to win or not. I was running against 17 politicians. You knew. That's nice. But no, I never forgot that. Jody Jones is a loving
another person coming
brother
up.
whose cherished sibling Rocky was killed by an illegal alien monster, real monster, who went on a deranged crime spree after being released from prison as part of a California sanctuary city policy. Jody, please come up. Thank you.
Well, I have this speech, but I'm not going to give it. What I'm going to tell you is from my heart. I want to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, first of all, before I do anything. I want to thank the American Border Story, and I absolutely want to thank President Donald J. Trump. Thank you, sir, for putting America first and putting these angel families first and letting everybody know their stories, because we matter. Thank you, sir. My brother Rocky Jones was murdered by a criminal illegal alien. He was simply at the wrong place at the wrong time. This man was arrested, released, and within 24 hours, he went on a shooting spree in Central California. Unfortunately, my brother was in the wrong place at the wrong time. This man shot my brother 8 times at point-blank range. I pray that no other family has to go through that. Unfortunately, they will. And just know, President Trump, I want you to know, no matter what the fake media says about you, the American people love you, and we will support you all the time, because we love you. I'm sick and tired of hearing these Democratic politicians stand up on these podiums and say how sorry they are for seeing these criminal illegal aliens being ripped apart from their families. What about us? What about the American family? What about us? We mean something too. And this man right here understands it. I was listening to Grandma Cook, and she said thank you to being ripped apart by President Trump. And I love that lady. I don't even know her. I just heard her. I just got the fire inside of me. I'm like, wow, that's an American. I love America. I want you guys to understand this. Americans are not racist. We're not xenophobic because we
Gaten,
want a safe America.
We have State of
and
the
we wanna
Union
put
tomorrow. You think I'm
Americans
going to
first.
miss any
This man's
Trump
not
speeches?
Racist because he wants to put
We need to lock
Americans
in.
first? Are you kidding me? I know you guys hear it all the time, but we are not. And I'm going to tell you something. I love America. I love Donald Trump. I love my family. And by gosh, I love America. Thank you very much, Donald Trump. President Trump, you are the man. You are the man.
You're
I
the
want to
man,
say
Trump.
this. I'm going to end here. I want to say this. I love my country.
You think
God bless
incoming
you.
hottest?
God bless Donald Trump, and God bless America.
I could see a world, you know? All right, let's see.
Well, thank you very much. It's incredible. I want to
Hottest all the way
now
up to
introduce
20s.
somebody
Wow.
that I get to know pretty well. We just had a little discussion.
Hilarious. It's mostly been about voter
Wonderful
ID
mothers.
and rigged elections.
Patty Morin, who lost her beautiful daughter Rachel, and Tammy Nobles, who lost her daughter Kayla. Your daughters would be unbelievably proud, and they are as they look down. I'm sure they're looking down.
And he still hasn't talked about
And,
fentanyl
they'd be very
or
proud of you. They're
cartels
thanking you
or
right now for
tariffs.
your courage. You've gone through a lot. Know you. And I just have to recognize some of the families. I mean, the families that are here this morning, I know many of them, not all of them. And you know, it grows at a pretty strong level, nothing like it was in the past. You remember when, during the campaign, Biden would say, and then I guess Kamala, it's the same.
Okay, now he's going on his
same
ramble.
ideology,
Good.
same
This is what
level
we
of
want.
intelligence, I think.
Oh,
But
it's
she
going
would
to be a
say,
low IQ mention?
and he would say, no, it's wonderful to have
I'm
these
not
people
winning,
come
Phantom.
into our country. These are fine people. These are nice people, and they don't commit crime. And I called Tom home and I said, "What's the story on that? Because I think they're really violent." And Tom would say, "These are the most violent people in the world. They're coming in. These make our." I remember you said, "These make our criminals look like choir boys." And you know what? You were right. You were right. But I want to thank
This guy is very slow today.
those two people because what they went through, and I want to recognize all of the families here this morning who have lost loved ones. A lot of families, thousands, are not here, and they're feeling just the way you do, sad, and continue to fight. You know, they say time helps, but I've seen some people, and the time isn't not helping that much. Time, they say, it heals all wounds, but
What is this guy talking about, man?
it's not. Do you feel better now or the same? You know, you got to feel a little bit better. You got to let it. But it's not like the phrase, wonderful phrase, time heals, like everything's going. Excuse me? Yeah, I know. We'll continue to fight, though, and we'll stop this horrible situation, and we have stopped a lot of it. A big thing, you know, you saw that murders are down for the most.
Okay, come on. You can't just
in
talk about
125
murders.
years. That's
How are you
before
not
my
going to
fa-
talk about
My father was
fentanyl
born in
and
1905.
this type of stuff? Crazy.
5 years before my father was born. My father was great. But, so in 1900, 125 years, the murders, the lowest rate. You know why? Because I closed the borders, and we got a lot of people out. It's not just closing, we got a lot of people out. Washington, D.C. is now a safe place.
Talking about
We don't want to
people
close
out.
the borders with them in here. We got a lot of them out, and we got many of the worst ones out. Go for them first. But I want to conclude by reading part of a letter I received earlier this year from two heartbroken grandparents
Okay,
who will never again see their 8-year-old
seems like it's
granddaughter
concluding.
after an illegal alien ran her over with his truck purposely. They wrote to me, "We are hurting so badly, and now know that the hurting in our family will never go away. It never, ever
Seems
will
like
go
he's
away.
rapping.
We're not seeking notoriety. We don't care about press coverage, but we do want our girl to be remembered. We want people to actually know how preventable this murder was. And lastly, we want the American government to be accountable to its citizens. true. They should be accountable for what they did.
But
That's my
let's see. It's always a risk when Trump says he's
administration,
rapping.
and I will tell you, fighting, and we're fighting so hard. All of them, everybody together is fighting. We're putting American citizens first. We're defending American lives, and we're fighting for every Angel family. Angel families are beautiful families.
It's so crazy that he
They're
didn't
beautiful
focus
families.
at all on deaths from drugs
That
when
was my
the
first-
White House
early
talked
on
about
when
it.
we first met, that was my first. I didn't know about angel families, you know. I never did this before, right? I was building buildings and things, but I said, I can't believe it. My first meeting, they were so angry at the press, at a mom who lost her daughter so violently, right? You might have been there. The first meeting, I said, this is strange. What's going on? It was anger from the fake news. But the angel families, I realized
dropped on El Marina.
very early on, I never changed. I could see how you've changed, though. You know, you have to go through this
GPT
stuff.
5.2
But,
is
Never
trash.
changed. I thought they were among the greatest people I've ever met. I've met the
Okay.
heads of countries. A lot
Doesn't
of them aren't so
even
nice,
come
but you know,
Wait,
they do have some power.
this is 5.3, right?
And we've done very well
No,
with
no,
all of those
GPT
people.
5.2 latest.
But among the finest people I've ever met are the people in this room, and many people outside of this room. I know many, many more than just in the room. But we restored our border, and that's now totally secure, and our country is at the safest level it's been in many, many years.
Oh man,
How
is
could
this the
anyone
hottest?
possibly say we want open borders, knowing, especially, let's say you did that because you're foolish or stupid or something, and you did it, but after a couple of weeks, you're going to know that the people coming here, if you're running a country, you want to send your bad people out. That was the way I looked at it. I didn't know anything about it. I ran for office, but I have a lot
Yeah.
of sense. And I said, well, open borders no good because if I'm running the country nearby or far away, I had no idea how far away. They came from the Congo in Africa. They came from all over.
No
not just
cartel
South
dodge
Africa.
is
Congo
crazy
let
to me.
vast numbers, hundreds and hundreds, and probably thousands of people out of jail. They brought them through Mexico and they dropped them into our country.
Okay, he's talking about Mexico.
would
Can
say
you
that
please talk about the cartel?
Common
This is
sense,
so
well,
insane.
And I said it right from almost the first day. I said, how could you have an open border? All the countries are going to be dropping their prisoners into us, and that's exactly what happened. And mental patients and others.
Mental patience.
So we have a country that's now doing well. We have the greatest economy we've ever had. We have the most
Oh.
activity we've ever had. I'm making a speech tomorrow night, and you'll be hearing me say that. I mean, it's
No, somebody clicked stock
going to
market
be a long
before me.
speech because we have so much to talk about. But
No, he dodges it. Oh, people are getting ready for
Americans
hottest.
like Lakin and Grant and Javier, Josh,
Oh man,
Rocky,
hottest is all the way up to
Rachel,
50.
Kayla.
People are so ready for
These
it.
are great people, and we're never going to forget them. I'll never forget them. I don't know how long I'll be around.
All right, let's see. I'll
lot
try
of
to
people
bill against
Gunning for me,
these
don't I? Huh?
people.
But I will not forget them. I'm never going to forget them. And I just think you're
Wow,
among
hottest
the
shot all the way up to 50. That's
most brave
hilarious.
people. I meet a lot of brave people. I meet.
I know he was so close. He shot up
Give
to
out
50.
congressional medals of honor. Where people
That's
recommend,
so
like these
funny.
two in front of me.
I
who
didn't
are
have
so
a bid up.
wonderful,
I
but
should've.
They recommend, and I meet the greatest people. But this is a group of people that, for whatever reason, I just feel maybe the warmest about. So at least you have one friend, and we don't understand why you don't have many, and maybe you will. I don't know. So I'm going to go sign the proclamation, and then we're going to sit in the audience. I'm going to sit with you for the reading of the victims' names, and I'll then depart to a song sung by our incredible, talented military, Amazing Grace. Okay? Sound good? Now, we could have some of the families come up, some of the people
All right.
come up. You know who you are, and come on, you can stand around me. I don't use an auto pen, so you can watch me
Oh,
actually sign.
auto pen. Holy shit. Auto pen hit in the weekly already. No!
We'll
Somebody
do
got
this,
top
all right,
on.
right. Do you have,
No! Somebody
I
beat
want to
me.
give coins to the family, okay?
Shit.
Could
I
I?
had one for you, and I couldn't bring anything inside.
No, Secret Service. Well, you'll get it to me.
Say hi to Trump.
He's talking about Secret Service. What does he say?
Little Emma.
Oh, hi, Emma.
Little Kayla.
Very good, beautiful.
Yeah.
Okay, you ready, Emma? We're going to sign this, okay? Okay?
Okay.
All right, what is Trump gonna? Is Trump gonna whisper anything?
Okay, that's a good one. That's a good
Still
one.
a hot mic.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You take care of yourself. You can hold that, at least for a little while before.
I'm not taking it.
Thank you. So let's do this candle lighting, and it's very beautiful. Please.
My daughter's
Thank you very much.
Trying to listen if he's gonna whisper anything.
I can't tell you how much I love you.
Miss Tyler.
All right, I guess it's over. I mean, could he come back up and talk? If he does, I will click. Like, wow,
We
people
will
are
now light a
bonding.
candle in honor of the victims and
People
in
are
solidarity
bonding
with their
99
families.
no.
Following the lighting of the
Crazy.
candle, the names of the
Already.
victims will be read aloud so that their memory may be honored.
Bad market? Yeah, bad for me too. I knew I should have been on all these yeses, but I only lost $260. Whatever. I didn't size up much anyways. There wasn't much liquidity. I know, Foster.
Abraham.
That's what I'm thinking. How are people bonding with size at 99?
Chad
That's so
Eystrup.
crazy.
Austin Babcock.
Because his mic's still hot too.
Megan Elizabeth.
I'm so ready to
Ida
click
Boz.
60K when something happens with fentanyl. I'm gonna
Jesse
make 60K live
Burke.
on a click.
Liam Cantu. Michael Clayton. Gail Clayton.
Wow, how are people bonding?
Sander Cohen.
60K of no's. It's so crazy.
Pierce Corcoran.
Did you see GPT 5.2
Ronald
release, Foster?
De Silva.
Very disappointing release.
Jackson Davis. Christopher James De Leon. Joseph Di Tommaso. Marshall Dova. Brady English.
Trump's still there, right? I don't see
Shaylee
him in the front. though.
Estes. Lacey Marie Ferguson. Maura Garrity. Tristan Gray. Kayla Hamilton. Aaron Joshua Hampton. Brady Heiling. Susan Hine. Haley Helgeson. Kyler Holbein. Gregory Hamala. Gabriel Kaleshi Isiguzo Jr. Rocky Paul Jones. Shane Jones. Stephanie Kaufman. Haley King. Amy Courtlang. Ryan White. Brian Moss. Robert Mopin. Lisbeth Medina. Brandon Mendoza. Brandon Michael. Dominic Montoya. Jonathan Moody Jr. Ruben Morfin. Rachel Morin. Krisha Odette.
I don't think he'll go
Nikolay
back up, but I'm
Osokin.
just saying, like, he could. Stuff like this has happened enough
Rocco
times that
Hitrow.
I can't get out of my chair yet. You know what I mean?
Lakin Riley.
In case, like, something
Grant
randomly
Ronnebeck.
comes up. I'm ready to click 50K shares if Trump starts
Matthew
talking.
Russell.
I guess what's the best thing for me to click if he were to start talking?
Kayla Santiago.
ICE or cartel, maybe?
Danielle Nikki Shermock. Fred
I will
Schlosser.
lose $500
Tierra Stansberry.
if this happens.
Kate Steinley. Joseph Story.
Crypto. Yeah, I got one saying crypto
Timmy
fails.
Karnowski. Brian Terry. Anya Varfolomeyev. Javier Vega Jr. Joshua Aaron Wilkerson. Carlos Wolf. Joseph Zhang Jr.
He needs to end on a positive note, talk about the hottest stock market. His mic was still hot, so that's all I'm saying. Like, this is loud. Let me turn this down. Dude, it is snowing so hard outside my window. Holy. This is like Christmassy to me. There's Trump. You can still see him. Hanging right there, that hair. I could tell that hair from anywhere. Yeah, that was a super hot rendition. It was as hot as the stock market. All right, Trump, get up there. Get up there and talk. I'm ready to click. What's he doing? Come on, Trump. No way. Is he coming back? Wait. Okay, no, he's leaving. Good thing I didn't click a 56K block. Well, what a start to the morning. You know, a nice little sad start to the morning. You get to hear about grieving parents and tragedies. I don't know why I watch these things. But, ladies and gentlemen, we have State of the Union tomorrow. We're going to be back tonight at 6 p.m. sharp, joined by Tyrael, who's a better mentions trader than me. And he actually enters positions pre-market. He actually predicts. He's not one of those live clickers like me, abusing exchange models. He'll be live with us tonight. We're going to break down a preview of State of the Union. Should be a lot of fun. But we got rinsed on this one. Well, we didn't get rinsed. We lost $250. So we'll live to see another day. Will we bounce back from a loss like this? Brutal. No.